Mr. Kanye West, who had multiple very public breakdowns after years with his ex-wife Kim Kardashian. He has a whole separate segment, so we'll get more into him a little bit later, but he also was linked to being tied to the Kardashian curse because Kanye did not have all these public outbursts until he started dating Kim. But like I said, we'll get into that a little bit later. So it didn't take long for the internet to start connecting the dots, some jokingly, but some were very serious when it came to the Kardashian curse theory. This Kardashian curse theory basically says the Kardashians are hexing their men, and whether you're on TikTok, Reddit, or scrolling through gossip blogs, chances are you've seen the term Kardashian curse with the K floating around, and it's become a pop culture staple. And the theory got so loud that even the family was privy to it. In the 2021 reunion special, Kendall said this in quote, "What I don't like about the narrative is that the blame is on us. The men need to take that responsibility," end quote.
What I don't like about the narrative is that the blame is on us. Like, I think that they need to put the men need to take that responsibility. Do you know what I mean? I think that we're all extremely giving and caring and loving women, and when there is a man in our lives, we like give everything to them, and it's like almost like offensive. I mean, just personally,
Well,
I'm
it's
saying
definitely
like,
offensive because they're blaming women for men's problems, but you don't hear a bunch of men on this couch. And if the women weren't doing better, like, because the men are doing
Let me
just
tell you,
as
Kanye is doing pretty well. So I think that like
you also have two.
This is the way I see it. Because they got a point with that. I can see both sides where it's like, why y'all blaming us for these men and their actions? That makes sense. Like, yeah, y'all shouldn't be like, Khloe didn't make Tristan cheat. Khloe didn't make Lamar Odom do drugs and go to brothels. Like, but that is not to say that they didn't have some part unknowingly or maybe knowingly. Like I said, them soul ties is a motherfucker. So maybe those men could have already been dealing with shit spiritually and within themselves that they haven't chose to face, and with them being exposed to the womb, the sacral womb of the Kardashians, and they also have their own demons that they probably haven't, or maybe that they haven't dealt with. The trauma that they haven't dealt with is still in there, and their emotional insecurities and all this other stuff that's in there, and ain't no telling if they doing like witchcraft and shit like that, and or they're making deals with spirits and shit. Like, that shit can also affect the people that they're laying down with, who they're creating soul ties with. So everybody has a choice, just like the men chose to be with the Kardashians, knowing what happened to the last people who they've been with. And I'm sure that they have some red flags too.
Super Bowl. What else? I mean, all these things that
of course,
you can
factually,
go
it
down
doesn't
the
actually
factual
add up.
successes of all the men.
And I wholeheartedly believe she definitely has a point, because you can't blame the women for the men's actions. However, if you want to put it in the Kardashian curse theory realm, maybe they made those decisions because they had a curse on them. I'm just joking around, really, but hey, I don't know, it could be real. Khloe Kardashian herself has spoken out because she is like a big reason why people believe that there is a curse due to the men that she's dated. She called the whole thing sexist, saying this in quote, "They're blaming women for men's problems," end quote. And in a 2023 episode of The Kardashians, Khloe got extra spicy about it, okay? She said in quote, "According to this theory, I must have made someone a drug addict and made someone cheat," end quote. And she was clearly referring to—
It's almost as if I just said that. I am amazing. I love you so. I love you too, man. Never refrain or be embarrassed to hug and love yourself, man. Always love yourself. I will always preach that to you. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself.
Lamar and Tristan, her
I love
ex-husband
myself.
and her baby daddy. She was being sarcastic, but also not really, because she also recently brought it up again in her new podcast, Cocktails with Chloe, laughing off the allegations that they are indeed witches. This actually was from her podcast, Chloe in Wonderland. Cocktails with Chloe is a former show she had, so I got the names confused. She said this on Chloe in Wonderland.
The Kardashians are witches. Oh, I've even seen this video. The story is their great-grandmother on the Kardashian side went to a witch and made some sort of spell that her family would be famous and rich. I'm not a witch that I know of. I can't tell you what my great-grandmother did, but I don't think any of us are witches.
And most of the time people don't know. They're not tapped in.
I would hope if I was a witch, I would know some really cool spells. And I know nothing.
So is this curse actually real? I personally don't know. Once again, I think it could be very believable, but I also do side with Kendall and Chloe when it comes to society constantly putting the blame of men on women. I know some people chalk it up as a coincidence. They say fame and pressure breaks up a lot of relationships, especially when they're constantly under a microscope, which I definitely have said already. But for the true conspiracy theorist, the Kardashian curse is step one in a much bigger witch theory. Because to them, they're like, what if the curse isn't just some unfortunate pattern, but it's actually a spell? One that was cast generations ago. And we're about to get into that right now. This video is brought to you by BetterHelp. Workplace stress is one of the highest causes of depression in today's world. I mean, it feels like we're constantly working, but origin story to the Kardashian curse theory. I honestly think it's kind of a fun and interesting theory as to why people think that the Kardashian curse exists today, but we're gonna break it down right now. According to one very popular myth, the Kardashian dynasty's fame and beauty weren't just a product of being smart businesswomen. Allegedly,
So you're not gonna bring up the Kardashian curse affecting Bruce Jenner? And don't forget the dad, Rob Kardashian. Oh my God, she look crazy. Look at her. She definitely a witch. She definitely a witch. Crazy. Oh my God. Like if you really just look, like if you really just take a good look at these females, like shout out to Dr. Umar, Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies never, man. This is actually wow. What the fuck? The only ones that actually look good is Kendall. I say Kendall and Kylie. Kim, yeah. But the rest, and I'm obviously not talking about this female, male thing.
and beauty weren't just a product of being smart.
I love my
businessmen.
lettuce, gate, bacon, tomato
Allegedly,
niggas.
They were supernaturally guaranteed this over a century ago. So the tale goes like this. Back in the early 1800s, one of the Kardashians' ancestors made a pact with a clan of witches in old Armenia. Their ancestor's name was Nykel Kardashian, a dark-haired Armenian woman said to be the sister's great-great-great-great-grandmother. That's a lot of greats, okay? Well, it was the 1800s, so I guess that makes sense. And allegedly, Kiko, or Kekel, I think it's Kekel. Did I say Kiko? Kekel? I'm gonna say Kekel. Okay, Kiki. I'm gonna say Kiki, actually. Let's say Kiki. So, allegedly, Kiki desperately wanted a better life for her family, okay? So, in 1809, she ventured deep into the forests of Armenia to find the infamous witch clan of the Shikahoga Woods. Yes, you guys, they have names for all this and everything. But we're not finished yet, okay? So these witches were rumored to possess powerful dark magic and ancient curses, and Kiki allegedly offered her soul to 4 witches in exchange for a mighty blessing, which was to give fame, fortune, and physical beauty to her offspring and future Kardashian generations. So the witches accepted this, but with a very sinister catch. They agreed the Kardashian women and their descendants would indeed be blessed with extraordinary beauty, allure, and success. But in exchange, all the men close to them will suffer. And I don't know if I would use the word blessed to describe this mess, but this is what people are saying, okay? Now, according to this lore, the witches fulfilled their promise in a twisted way. Kiki's female bloodline would rise to unimaginable fame and wealth, but the family's men, whether relatives or romantic partners, would bear a curse of misfortune. And the story even suggests that while the Kardashian women would have external glamour, they would also lack talent, wisdom, and dignity, having traded those virtues for superficial gains. Now, this over-the-top tale is completed with a ritual. So one of these versions claim the witches made Kiki dance naked with a hedgehog on her head and a leopard's tail attached, humiliating her before sealing the deal. And this might sound absolutely bizarre, but when I tell you guys this has been circulating the blogs and YouTube videos as a supposed explanation for this Kardashian phenomenon, it's been going on for years. And
like, I just imagine just either a fat dude in his basement on Reddit threads and like looking deep into ancestry doing this, or like a crazed like female fan with glasses and braces and just I don't know, like what possesses you to go ahead and like go down this rabbit hole to learn about somebody else's family? Why don't you learn about yours? Why do you care? Especially with their fames, why do you care? I don't get it, man.
Not lying when it comes to that. People really believe that this is like a thing. However, there is no historical evidence for a Kiko Kardashian or an actual witch coven. The legend appears to have started online around 2015 when an article outlining this Armenian witch story went viral in conspiracy circles. And in 2022, the theory got a fresh boost on TikTok when a creator by the name of Patty Pop Culture recapped the craziest conspiracy theories about the Kardashians, describing the witch pack story in a short video that reached millions of views. The story was literally so widespread that, as mentioned, it even popped up on the Kardashians' own radar. Khloe and Scott Disick discussed that very TikTok in a recent episode, effectively debunking it and rolling their eyes at how far-fetched it was.
Says that many moons ago, a woman in our family made a deal with 4 witches. It's wild. I'll show you. Let me see.
It was alleged that a woman sacrificed her soul to 4 witches in Armenia in order for all the women in her bloodline to always have fame.
This is wild. It's super sexist. Why can society blame us girls, but they would never blame men?
I made mistake.
Someone a drug addict. You're telling me I made someone cheat, or you made someone this or that. Like,
I just wish some of the guys would come to our defense.
The last person you should expect to come to your defense is fucking Kanye. Yeah, he is not coming to your defense. You didn't come to his defense. You try to take his kids away. Why the fuck would he do that? Like,
you ever been to a psychic?
No.
I kind of want to go to one.
Me too. I want to go to someone who tells me about like my past lives and like.
So that's what I'm saying, something like that. Because you know how everybody says there's like that Kardashian curse to the men.
oh my god.
I don't know. It's kind of scary, but it's kind of dope. Like if it actually like had truth to it.
Yeah. The Kardashian curse is every male figure that comes and dates a Kardashian, their life kind of just goes downhill after that. I am not against exploring this more with Scott.
Yet, for die-hard conspiracy theorists, the witch pack legend is the perfect explanation because it neatly ties together the family's multi-generational fame thanks to the eternal fame that was promised to the witch and the infamous curse on the men that they have around them.
So Kendall calls me and tells me that Scott bought a rooster to rid himself of the Kardashian curse. Scott is so ridiculous. I mean, he does weird things anyway, but this is like on another level.
Time to stretch.
Reaching. I'm so annoyed he even thinks that exists.
Oof.
Like there's no such thing.
Yeah.
Obviously. Of course, put the blame somewhere else, you know? Always. He never wants to take like accountability for his own actions. He wants to always put the blame on someone else. Yeah.
What do you mean?
You think that we cursed you.
Hell yeah, bitch, you cursed me.
Go to a voodoo doctor?
I've been shopping around, yeah. I just think a lot of people have come into this family and it hasn't been the easiest.
I mean, bruh, if you pay attention, like literally, you gotta pay attention. He's not. He's paying attention. That's all I gotta say, bro. That's literally all. Because, like, bro, you can't just not see the outcomes of the people who have been, their life before they met the Kardashians and it was intertwined with the Kardashians, and life after. Like, you can't just be oblivious to it. So, like, I side with Scott. Nigga, y'all bitches did put a curse on me and I ain't know about it. Maybe y'all don't know about it either. I don't know. But I'm still gonna go to a doctor, get my shit spiritually checked out. Like, and my thing is with these men, because they saying like, oh my God, the men need to come to our defense. But it's like, were y'all by their side when they were going through the shit they were going through? That's what real women would do. Like, why do you expect those men to protect you guys when they were going through their hardships and shit like that? Y'all weren't there to protect them from the internet. It's a two-way street. It's just like when a grandparent, like, grandparents always expect the grandkids to reach out. Oh, because we've lived long. Like, y'all should be reaching out. Why haven't I heard from you? Da 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 da. It's a two-way street. Like, have you thought about reaching out to your grandkids? It'd be something if you always reached out and your grandkids aren't. But it's another thing if you're not even reaching out. And here's the thing, the grandkids are gonna be busy as fuck because they've got their job, they got their own personal lives, they got stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot. And the grandparents are just chilling at home because they've already worked, and they just, to some understanding, it's like, all right, bro, you probably bored, but it's like, you can't just expect your grandkids to. All right, I'm getting off topic. Sorry, but yeah, with why would they come to your defense when you didn't even do it when they was going through their shit? Not saying you support what they were doing in their actions, but you still could be like, some nah, bro. Like, he's going through his own stuff right now. Like, y'all need to chill out on the hate, chill out on all that shit. Cause I love that man, or that man was good to me when we were going through it. Like, he never emotionally abused me. He never da da da. I don't know, but it's a two-way street on protection. You can't just expect somebody to protect you when you weren't protecting them.
A lie. You guys think nothing is ever wrong.
A Kardashian curse? It's not real.
Are you joking?
I'm offended.
It just seems like the guys in the family have it a little tougher.
Now, yeah. I personally believe that this theory is a bunch of malarkey, because if this was the great-great-great-great-grandmother, what happened to all the other Kardashian relatives? Because I don't think any of the other Kardashian family members were honestly successful. I mean, I guess their dad was, but he would have been Kiko's great-great-great-grandson. So that makes no sense. And yeah, he had a little bit of fame, but he wasn't like a celebrity. The Kardashians didn't really boost their celebrity until 2007. And even then, they weren't as massive as they were in like 2011 and 2012. And I guess the next ones coming up are their children. And I know people say, well, they only bring their daughters out. They don't ever bring their sons out. Or the Kardashian daughters are more popular or successful than the Kardashian sons. Which I can see, because whenever you see the Kardashians out and about, you very rarely see the boys. It's like they use the little girls as like little handbags sometimes.
Why do the Kardashians only post their daughters but not their sons? Because they can't profit off the boys the same way they can profit off the girls. And they learned that from the master herself, Kris Jenner, which is why I think we never see Rob. Of course, that's all just in my opinion though, which I'm allowed to have.
But maybe the boys just don't care to be around their moms and do the girly things. I don't know. I guess we'll see in like 10 to 15 years if the Kardashian curse lives on and then the girls are successful and the boys aren't. But I don't want to say that because I don't want to wish bad on any child just to see a theory come true. But like I said, only time will tell. To believers, this theory is almost poetic justice, that an ancestor's dark bargain granting prosperity to the Kardashian women at the cost of male misery. It literally frames frames the 5 famous sisters and their mom Kris as a sort of enchanted matriarchy, perhaps even knowingly continuing the witchcraft tradition down the line. And indeed, some speculate that Kris Jenner, the matriarch, could be the present-day coven leader, carrying on the ancestral magic and ensuring her daughter's success through spells and rituals. But we'll talk about Kris more later. And yes, it does sound absolutely insane, but it's undeniably a unique narrative that adds a dramatic paranormal flair to the family's real-life story. And in the internet era, a story this wild spreads fast. So memes and threads about the witch ancestor abound on Reddit and Twitter and YouTube channels, I guess including mine. But some YouTubers have created and produced mini documentaries on the bizarre tale of Nykel Kardashian. It has literally become a modern day folklore. But hey, after all,
I don't be seeing that shit. Most of the shit that she be talking about, I don't be seeing that shit. My timelines on TikTok and on Twitter, it's just spiritual shit, some Power Ranger shit, some memes, and then some shit talking about, you know, the streamers and shit. That's rare. It's gotten less of that, but it's more spiritual shit and health tips and shit like that for your body.
the Kardashians' rise to fame and enduring influence can feel almost magical or unexplainable to those specifically who are not fans. Speaking of influence, let's examine some evidence that conspiracy theorists point to when arguing that the Kardashians might truly be dabbling in the dark arts. So why do people look at the Kardashian-Jenner family and immediately yell witchcraft? Like, where exactly is this even coming from? Well, beyond the whole Kardashian curse and the alleged Armenian ancestor named Nykel who made a deal with a coven in the woods, the internet has been collecting receipts, or at least what conspiracy theorists claim are receipts. Like little clues and signs that they say is pointing to something much darker behind the scenes. Let's break down what the believers are always pointing to when it comes to the Kardashians and them allegedly being witches. So the first thing people love to point out is the vibe and the aesthetic. If you look at certain Kardashian photo shoots, especially Kourtney and Kim, there's definitely been a witchy energy at times. One that always gets brought up is this photo of them both in black, and Kourtney captioned it, "Witches of Eastwick." A cute little reference to the movie, right? Well, conspiracy TikTok was like, aha, see, they're telling us they're witches. People also bring up the fact that the sisters are constantly in all black, doing gothic glam, and showing up to events in looks that could low-key double as coven attire. Now, to most of us, that's just high fashion, but for the Kardashian haters or extreme conspiracy theorists, they believe that that's just them dressing as their true selves, witches. The internet even has a nickname for them. They call them the Witches of Calabasas. And that's not just on a Reddit thread, okay? Legit news
Let's go back and look at
outlets
this.
also
Let's go back and look at that
witches.
picture.
The internet even has a nickname for them. They call them the Witches of Calabasas.
Kind of like witches. I'm not even talking about the black. I'm just looking at I'm just looking at their faces, like, bro, like, oh my god. Do you tell like the Botox shit like this? The Botox. She's like a man in this one. I ain't gonna lie, like a tranny. What is she?
Calabasas. And that's not just on a Reddit
She don't even.
okay? Legit news outlets
Kendall didn't.
on a Reddit thread, okay?
Bro.
Legit news name for them. They call
Sorry.
them the Witches of
Kendall don't even look real. Look like AI.
Calabasas.
Oh,
and that's
God.
not just on a Reddit thread, okay? Legit news outlets have also run with that title. Then there's the name thing. All the girls, Kim, Kourtney, Khloe, Kendall, and Kylie, and mommy Kris, all their names start with K's. KKKKK, okay? Now, yes, that's just Kris being Kris and branding the family, but some people actually say that the K's are a symbol for their coven. And when you start seeing stuff like Kardashian Kurse spelled with a K instead of a C, the theorists, they eat that up. Is it a reach? Probably, but when you're deep in conspiracy TikTok, nothing seems like a coincidence anymore. Now, say it is true and the Kardashians really are witches, okay? If they really were a coven, let's be real, we all know Kris Jenner would absolutely be the leader, or the head witch, okay? I mean, we all know the saying, the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder. That saying
I don't know
alone
that.
already adds fuel to the fire.
I don't know that saying.
And an actual self-identifying modern witch once said in an interview that Kris Jenner is the most realistic witch in pop culture. This woman goes by the name of Brie Luna. She runs the blog The Hood Witch, and she literally said, in quote, "I'm serious. Kris is definitely a witch. She used to endorse ritual manifestation candles." End quote. And y'all, that part is true. Kurse actually hosted an infomercial in the 90s for these psychic candles that were supposed to help you manifest wealth, love, and success.
Once in a very long while, a truly remarkable product comes our way that challenges what we think and can dramatically improve our lives. Hello, I'm Kris Jenner. In the next few moments, you're going to discover a product that is so powerful, it can enhance your life forever. And I have it right here. These are wicks of wisdom. And it's the special formulas added to these unique candles that make them so amazing. The powerful effects that they can bring to the people who burn them are truly extraordinary. So open your mind to the possibility of making your dreams and your wishes come true. Skeptical? You don't have to believe. Just watch.
Like, she literally was selling spell candles before her family was put on to wealth and success. I don't know about the love part too much, but wealth and success for sure. And finally, we can talk about the sisters and their psychic obsession. So Kim, Kourtney, and Khloé are known for constantly going to mediums, and they even do it on their show, The Kardashians, and their old show on E, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Kim especially has said that she's obsessed with spiritual guides and tapping into her inner goddess. She's done sessions with everyone, from the Long Island medium to the medical medium, and she's even been to healing retreats in Bali. Kourtney's brand Poosh is basically a catalog of crystals.
See, I don't see that as being bad. Her going to mediums and stuff like that and getting closer within her goddess. I don't see that as a bad thing. Now, what she uses it for, you'll be able to. I'm sorry, excuse me. What she uses it for, if she uses it for her growth at the detriment of other people, then that's bad. But if she's just using it for herself, just so she can grow and just do better, I don't see anything wrong with that. That's what you should be doing. But not at the expense of other people, though.
Sage bundles. Now, let's be real. In LA, that's just a regular day. Wellness and spiritual stuff is super trendy there, and a lot of people, especially celebrities, like to explore it. But
hold on real quick.